You're really gonna make me call the station, huh? Please do.
Normally I make a phone call and that's where it ends. I never expect to get a phone call back. Captain Scarbridges from Peabody, Massachusetts was brave enough to call me back. This is that call. Hello?
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 I'm looking to speak to an individual that identified themselves as a good citizen.
You are speaking with that individual.
How you doing tonight?
I've been better. What's up?
Well, I'm returning your call. You left a message for me in my office today?
Yeah, I had a couple questions, man. Number one, are you aware about the incident I'm calling about?
I'm very well aware of it.
Yeah. I'm curious to hear what you feel about it.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. So, if you're willing to have a open dialogue here and talk about the situation, there's some context that has to be put into it, and I'm willing to share that with you.
Sure.
Some don't go very well. Some people are just intent at screaming at me on the phone, calling us fascists.
That's not me, man. That's not me. That's not me.
All right. So here, I'm going to give you the whole context of what's going on here, okay?
Okay.
So the individual that put this videotape up on YouTube is well known to us. He's well known to all the local police departments in the area. He around police officers and enticed them and put them
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, sir. My phone skipped. You said he was blank to entice. My phone skipped.
He is intent on trying to entice police into saying things or doing things that he can put up on YouTube that makes the police look bad. That's basically what he does every day.
Uh-huh.
And we're aware of who he is. We know who he is. So, to give you the context of what happened here, Sergeant Sayer was on a detail. And you know what a detail is. He was doing traffic. He's working with a construction crew.
Yeah, the video's pretty clear about what he was doing.
Yep. All right. So he had an entire lane of traffic was blocked off. That was a 2-lane road, and he had an entire lane blocked off for the heavy equipment and everything that was doing the work there. The construction zone was coned off, and when you cone off a construction zone, that construction zone is for construction workers and law enforcement or public safety people only. That's why it's coned off. It's unsafe for other people to be in there and walk around. Sergeant Sayer was on that job directing traffic for several hours. He chose to go in his cruiser and sit in his cruiser for a couple minutes to have something to drink and to have something to eat because he had been out there for quite a while, and he's entitled to get a drink and to have a sandwich or a meal.
Of course. I mean, of course. Yeah, anybody would.
Correct. So he went over and told the construction crew, I'm going to go over to my cruiser. I'm going to sit in my cruiser for a couple minutes to have a wolf down, a quick sandwich and a drink. Don't put anything past the cones. Don't try to pull out of the construction site with anything because I'm going to be sitting in the car and I won't be able to stop traffic for you. So just work within the zone for a couple minutes and I'll be back. So he went and got in his cruiser, and he wasn't sitting in his cruiser eating more than maybe a minute when a pickup truck drove by him, drove a couple hundred feet up the road past the construction site, and pulled over to the right-hand side of the road, in essence blocking the second lane that was now back open again after the construction site. The individual that took this videotape got out of the passenger side of the pickup truck, walked up the sidewalk, walked up over to Sergeant Sayer's cruiser, and literally started screaming at him and berating him for sitting in his cruiser. And he said, you're supposed to be out on the road directing traffic. You're public safety. You're not supposed to be sitting in your cruiser. What's wrong with you? And he started screaming at him. So Sergeant Sayer just sat there, finished his sandwich real quick. He'd get out of the cruiser to start directing traffic again. This individual started yelling at him, calling him all kinds of names. And then he walked out into the construction site and approached Sergeant Sayer inside the cones and inside the construction site. Sergeant Sayer cordially asked him several times to get off the road. It was unsafe for him to be out there, and he refused to get off the road. Sergeant Sayer then walked over to him and escorted him off the street and put him back on the sidewalk where he belonged. That's when he started yelling at Sergeant Sayer, I want your name and your badge number. And Sergeant Sayer provided him with his badge number several times. And then
Hold on, sir. I must say, hold on. Can I just want to interrupt right there. He did not give his name. He said, "My name is 529 529."
He gave his badge. He didn't give his name. He gave his badge.
All right. Well, listen. I respectfully, sir. I agree with everything you've said so far. I'm not trying to cause a problem, but you know as well as I do, Chapter 42, subsection 98D specifies all Massachusetts law enforcement officers must identify name and badge number on a card, if even. He wasn't even asking for that. Name and badge number was all he was asking. All I heard in that video was 529.
Right. And if you're quoting the chapter in the Massachusetts General Law, the chapter you just spoke about is that police departments are supposed to issue a photo ID with name and number and a uniform police ID to active police officers that they're supposed to carry on their person all the time when they're working, and they're supposed to show it upon lawful demand. Our policy dictates that when we initiate the interaction with the citizen, we are obligated to show them our ID if we're asked for it, or to provide our name and number when we're asked for it. Mark Say or Sergeant Say did not initiate the contact with this guy.
He didn't put his hands on that guy? He didn't put his hands on that guy? He did not put his hands on that guy first?
What do you mean first? No, the guy walked up to his cruiser.
Yes, you're right. Listen, you're absolutely right. The man approached him and talked to him first. But if Mark Say is going to counter the engagement and put his hands on an individual, I think it is only fair that he needs to show his law enforcement ability to be able to do that. Otherwise, what is the difference if I walk up to a stranger and anybody who talks to me, I put my hands on? Is that okay?
Let me just say this.
All right, answer my question, please. I would like you to answer my question.
And what's your question? If somebody walked up to you, put your hands on somebody, and they ask you who you are you obligated to tell them who you are?
If they put their hands on me, are they not committing a crime?
No.
No. Okay, so I could just walk up to strangers and put my hands on them and ask them, who are you?
No. You got to let me finish. A citizen would be committing a crime.
Yes, you're right. We're asking because the officer unlawfully put his hands on somebody else. Hold on, officer, I let you speak. Come on, let me speak. That guy put his hands on somebody else unlawfully and was asked to identify, and he did not, to the letter of the law. What are we arguing about here?
I don't know. There's no argument. What I'm telling you is...
Right, you're right. He violated the law. What are we arguing about?
First of all, no, he didn't.
No, he didn't. Okay, so I could just put my hands on anybody I want.
Are you going to let me finish?
No, because you're telling me bullshit.
All right, so now this is why we don't return these phone calls.
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I let you speak, but now you're going down the wrong route. You're saying things that are not right.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
If somebody's acting out of control, or if somebody's being disorderly, or if somebody's disturbing the peace, does a police officer have the right to place that person in custody?
Is he the complainant?
Is who the complainant?
The police officer.
No, all the cars in the neighbors.
No. It was between an individual and an officer. Come on. We're not talking hypotheticals here.
There were people that came out of the house.
Oh, really? Because in the video I'm referring to, I saw an interaction between an individual and an officer.
And an officer gave him a lawful command to get...
Untrue. It is not lawful because he didn't break a law. He didn't break a law. What are you talking about? What was the lawful command?
He was inside a construction zone.
Bullshit. He was on a public easement. You know what the easement is. 33 feet from the center of the road. Come on, officer. You know what an easement is. Yeah, thank you. I want to say thank you to Mass Accountability for doing the work that you do. You inspire people like me every single day. We want to pick up and do what we can do to contribute to this cause. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more content similar to this.